Hey guys, this is an A.S.K Christmas, Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean review. Thanks for watching. Well, to be honest, this Christmas special didn't feel like Christmas. It felt less on giving and it relied mostly on jokes. Some scenes I really did like, but other scenes not really. I guess I would give this special maybe a 6 out of 10. I liked all the jokes that they put in, most of them all, but I think it could have relied more on Christmas stuff and relied less on jokes because Christmas isn't about funniness. I get that it's Mr. Bean, but still. So let's start. He goes and plays with some Jesus dolls in the store before breaking some light bulbs and an ornament. He makes the baby Jesus doll sleeping, and then all the other characters make sounds and they tell him to be quiet because Jesus is sleeping. So, and then like a marching band shows up and sheep show up and all these other things show up. And then there's a pickup truck, and then there's a dog, and then there's a shepherd. It all goes into the truck, and then they all go. And that all was in, I guess, a few minutes. What I like about Mr. Bean in general is that in 25 minutes it makes the best out of its time. It has a few scenes, it all uses the least amount of time as possible, but it feels so long. But I like the UFO parts, I like the dinosaur. It wasn't very Christmassy, to be honest, but it was funny. I didn't like it, but I guess when you watch it the first time, you kind of laugh at it for the first time. Um, and yeah, that's probably it. And then an angel takes Jesus up to another bed. And then with a chopper, and then he drops, I think this is she. Yeah, because then she's an angel. So she drops him on the bed, and then his parents come, and then a guard comes. Which is my favorite scene from this scene because it's not the guard, but it's the cashier who's been waiting for Mr. Bean. And it's hilarious. And I really like that part. I like Mr. Bean's face, I like the guard, I like how he used the toy instead of just showing up. And that's really fun. So he strolls around, pulls the beard of a Santa because why not? That's totally Christmassy. Then he sees Irma, who of course wants something from Mr. Bean's pocket. She sees a ring that she wants beside a picture, and then she says beautiful. Mr. Bean, of course, goes and buys it. And then there's a free turkey for guess a kilogram. People keep guessing wrong, like this guy guessed 10 kilograms. And of course, Mr. Bean's gonna cheat. Sorry, that was just in it for the screenshotting. I love that picture. And then, he takes the turkey and he goes home. And then he sees a conductor, and the conductor says him go and get some donations because I suck. And Mr. Bean goes and sees a thief. Again, not very Christmassy, not very nice. The thief gives him all the money and jewels he stole, and then Mr. Bean, takes everything from him. And, well, that's not really Christmassy because he didn't get a donation. It would have been nicer if the thief just returned all the money to the owner. I like the smacking head part, but that's probably only it. And, yeah, I guess that's probably it for that scene. And then the conductor says he's going to put it in his car, which is, of course, he's a thief. And then Mr. Bean takes over the conductor. And, of course, conducting he knows nothing about. So he plays around with the conductor stick because he's Mr. Bean, and that's hilarious. I really like this scene. I actually love this scene, to be honest. I like the second song. It's very creative. I think it's like Ye Merry Gentlemen or something like that, the song. And it's creative. I like Mr. Bean's face when he makes those songs. And I like how all the people are like happy or funny because he's like making them wait a lot. And Mr. Bean, this is probably my favorite scene of the whole episode. And of course the conductor is a thief. Why not? That's totally Christmassy. Like, I'm just filling with spirit right about now. And I like Mr. Bean's face when he does that. We just got those two screenshots because they're awesome. And he goes and puts his ornament on a tree branch that he stole from the big tree from the whole city, which of course no one notices until now. Then he cuts the whole tree from his backyard because why not? That's totally Christmassy. He has some postal cards that he wrote to himself, which are all the same. He gets out some firecrackers. And then he plays with the boxes a bit. He sees what's in the firecracker boxes. And he's not very bright. He tries to open them, and one of them breaks. And then he sees that there is firecrackers inside, like little sticks. And then he sets up the stockings later on. And he sets one for the mouse. And he says meow, because why not? That's totally Christmassy. And then he goes on TV and there's nothing good. I mean, how's there not something good? It's Christmas, honestly. Turns off the TV and he hears kids caroling outside. Which is finally a Christmassy part of this. He opens the door, but of course, since he's Mr. Bean, he doesn't just give them the money right away. He sees the children who are caroling, and guess what he does? Yeah, he sits and watches them, drinks beer, and then finally, when he's about to go get them, he kinda, shuts the door. Yeah, how is that Christmassy? Like, honestly. But then later, he wakes up in the morning, and he looks at Teddy's stocking. He sees that there is a little thing inside, and he checks it out, and he sees that there are eyes on him. And Teddy can see now, and he does like the three-finger check or something. And then Teddy tells him, which again isn't very Christmassy, but it's Mr. Bean-like, so I guess that's another good part of this episode. And then he checks his own, and since it was a sock, not a stocking, he finds the other sock. But then he says Christmas sucks, which is horrible, but I guess the sock joke's pretty awesome when you're watching the first few times. Then he gets the cheese out of the mouse's stocking, and he puts it on a mouse trap. Again, awesome use of the Christmas jokes, guys. I'm just laughing my head off right now. And then, Teddy, you can see him reading, having his glasses on because he has eyes now. And then he cuts to him getting his turkey out for his dinner with Irma. I mean, how can Irma eat all this turkey? And so how does Mr. Bean? Because he's like slim. He's like bones, okay? He's like bones and sleeves. And then he tries to put some, stuffing inside the turkey. It's disgusting because it's not even roasted yet. It's just bare naked. It even has legs. Like, it has bones. How would you eat that, honestly? And then he does it, and he finds out that his watch is gone. And since his watch is gone, he has to look inside the turkey's bottom. Yeah, I'll just say bottom. And he gets it stuck on his head because that's totally Christmassy, and it's not even funny. It's funny to some people. People say this is the best part of the scene. And Irma shows up, obviously, because it's like Mrs. Doubtfire. She doesn't notice anything. And he says he's just showering, and he's drying up. And then she puts a mistletoe on the chandelier, which is basically nothing. And then he gets tea for them. And again, Irma doesn't notice anything, and she says, "Got the turkey on," which again is funny, but not very nice, and she acts kind of stupid, and she doesn't notice anything. It's like Mrs. Doubtfire, that part where he has to switch between the two parts when that lady comes into her house. Yeah, it's like that. She doesn't notice anything. And then she sits Teddy on the table while Mr. Bean's going around and finding stuff. And then she finds out and she faints, and she drops, is that an anvil? She drops an anvil down, like they have an anvil right in their house, and she can lift it. And then the turkey comes off his head, and everything explodes, probably, but since this is cartoon logic, I'll just go with it. And Mr. Bean looks all funny, and of course, his watch was in his mouth. Then they have to eat sandwiches and carrots, which again isn't Christmassy, and it's their backup plan, which I guess is okay. And it's good because Mr. Bean doesn't eat a lot, so that's pretty good. And then she brings him a gift. I actually like Irma in this part because she actually wants to kiss Mr. Bean for the thing. So, but then Mr. Bean's like, oh, well, fish. And then he says, oh, look over there. And then he steals the present. How is that Christmassy? I mean, at least give her a good present. So he takes it out, and it's a ship. He opens it up and peeks around, and then he remembers that she had a gift. And he gives it to her, and it's flat. Yeah, flat, like literally flat. And then she sees this picture beside the ring she wanted. I actually feel so bad for Irma in this scene. Mr. Bean's like, was that here and here and here? The first time it's pretty funny, but after a while it gets sad. Even though Irma left Mr. Bean a lot of times, I still think Irma deserves to, at least have a good present. And she cries because she's a woman, and why not? It's not like she should have had a gift on Christmas. No one gives each other gifts on Christmas unless they're Santa Claus or it's Christmas Day. I mean, it is, but whatever. And then she gives him a little ring holder. She opens it. It's probably the funniest part of the scene. She pulls it out, and guess what it is? Yeah, it's a holder for the picture. And then Mr. Bean's like, there's that here, and here, and here. And then Irma obviously leaves, even though Mr. Bean's all doing it. She gets out of there, and she is gone. Mr. Bean's like, what's wrong with it? What do you think is wrong with it, genius? Rowan Atkinson. Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean, from Firecracker Inc. Thanks for watching. This is brought to you by A.S.K Christmas, where you can find the fun jolly videos for a short time. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and check out other Merry Christmas videos by A.S.K. See you now, and goodbye, babies. Woo!